Morning, it's Martin from Martin's Engine Services. Just making a little follow-up video on the saga of the Transit with the driveline vibration, which started after the fitting of a good quality clutch, a reground flywheel, and, well, no, those are the components that were changed. Subsequently after that, the gearbox was swapped out for another one, and we discovered that the newly machined flywheel was machined wrong. But we refitted the same clutch. Previous to this, the problem the vehicle had was with clutch judder on takeoff, which was a known problem with the quality brand of German clutches that we fitted. And here is the old German clutch that juddered on the bench in front of me. And so we fitted a different one, blah, blah, blah. Now the vibration has driven us, me and the customer, actually mad. We've down a rabbit hole of changing bits and pieces and finding issues and everything. But yesterday, we fitted a Fechle and Sachs clutch unit, and bingo, problem solved, everything's fine, drives absolutely perfect. The faulty clutch has actually gone its way back to the manufacturer now, because if any of you see, I made a clutch, sort of rudimentary clutch tester using a torque wrench and a bits and pieces, and this clutch here, actually, when it was tested, it was all clamped down, took 102 foot-pounds of pressure to depress the pressure plate. The clutch we took off was an identical design, same sort of setup, etc, etc. That took an incredible 41 foot-pounds to depress. In fact, it was so weak you can almost do it by hand, and that was causing a problem called clutch spin, which isn't the same as clutch slip. Clutch slip is when the pressure plate has still got good spring tension, but the plate is worn down and it can't grip it. Clutch spin is caused when the pressure plate is too weak, and as the load goes on, effectively the pressure plate just cannot keep the clamping force right, so the plate moves a bit, then it grabs, moves, grabs. It's also like the effect of almost bouncing the pedal. The pressure plate we took off, I wish I took a picture of it, did exhibit a series of marks on it, almost sort of curve marks like that, very close together, where the plate has been literally jumping. So that answered that. The clutch that we actually fitted, say the Fechle and Sachs one, was actually a low lift unit, which is identical to the Ford original option for these vehicles, whereas the clamping effort here is exactly the same. However, the effort required to depress the clutch is exactly 50% to the standard one. These were designed for sort of traffic use, stop-start, delivery drivers, etc, etc. So nothing else is different regarding, say, the clamping force and the torque capability. It's just the fact that the pedal pressure is exactly half. Now these clutches have a different cover and a different center plate and are marked low lift, and the covers are low lift, and you mustn't interchange the components. Now when we swapped the engine in this vehicle last year, the clutch we took off was a Fechle and Sachs one, and it was stamped low lift. So effectively, the one we fitted now is exactly the same as the factory one. Now I've got a low lift clutch in my own Transit, and that's an original Ford one. It's done about 70,000 miles now. That's still as light as a feather to use, and is fine. So, out of curiosity, we fitted the Fechle and Sachs kit to my clutch tester. Now bearing in mind they are designed to be 50% less pedal effort, it actually depressed, or it actually went down at about 50-51, so it's as good as exactly half of this one, which is a normal lift clutch. So that was some sort of proof. But say the one that's going back to the manufacturer, I'm not going to name the manufacturer, it's a well-known brand, basically went at 40-41 pounds, and with the lever on here you could literally do that. That definitively answered the question of what was the problem. It was the clutch literally bouncing, and of course that was effectively jolting the drive line and rattling the prop shaft and everything, so you had this thumping vibration through the prop shaft. Then eventually, if you let it build up speed gradually, of course it would eventually go through it. So we put it in, took it down the road, absolutely perfect. Feather light pedal, clutch bites nicely, no more vibration. So there we were, chasing yet another poor quality, fairly expensive, allegedly high brand component. So he's going to send it back to where he got it from. and tell them exactly all about it and see if they say anything. But he did actually contact the company about it, and they of course said, oh, we've never had a problem with these before, it's the first one we've ever heard of, and we sold 75 million of them. And I think we all know exactly how this works. Still, the problem is now solved. So this one here is now destined for the scrap bin. Although, I mean, you know, he's just done a few thousand miles and he's perfect, but he certainly wouldn't use it because the amount of judder coming from this was absolutely mind-boggling. An identical, say, one I said before in a previous video, an identical one to this, done about similar miles, was also juddering badly. And this brand is known for suffering with this. Not all their clutches suffer with this, but particularly with this version, it does. So that has put to bed the Transit driveline vibration saga. A truly amazing problem created by allegedly a good component. You replace one bad component, which you know is poor manufacture, made in far off land, to replace with another good brand, which we subsequently find allegedly was made somewhere good, was made in far off land. And of course, you go down the presumption that, oh, it can't be that clutch again, because it was a different problem. This was juddering, the other one was spinning. So there you go. So we put it all in yesterday and thought, okay, here we go, down the road, perfection. So that saga is finally over, and I think this must be part, I don't know how many now, but it's a very, very nice feeling when you finally get to the bottom of a problem like this. On something fairly simple, I mean, the Mark IV Transit with the DI engine is a pretty simple machine. There's not too many complications to the whole thing, but you just think, well, whatever next. However, I suppose if you take some good news out of all that, at least we know that the flywheel on the engine is A1 perfect within Ford spec. We have the best quality clutch fitted that works. The gearbox says everything is in A1 condition. And the prop shaft's fine. We found a faulty differential bearing, which is also done. Prop bearings have been done. So the drive line on this vehicle is pretty much perfect for a sort of 23-year-old vehicle. So there's many more years of life to go now. So there we go. I'm going to commit this to the scrap bin, which I think is the only place it can go. And if we do get any results back from the other clutch supplier, I'll let you know, but I don't honestly think an awful lot's going to happen. I've got a few things happening in the workshop this week. There will be the usual Wednesday update on what's going on. I've got a little engine job coming in now, and I've probably got a stock car engine coming my way this week that's suffered a little bit of an overheat. Not serious, and I'm just in the process of doing a few more little bits to my Transit. There's a couple of little bits of welding underneath I didn't finish when I did the body rebuild. Had a bit of time Saturday, so I thought, right, let's get it done. MOT time soon. Got to be carried away with the paint. It's all, you know, you see under there, it's all, doesn't really show up. It's all nice and shiny under there and all been cleaned up. So all looking very nice. Anyhow, I'm off now to do the job that I was supposed to do last Wednesday at my friend's, when the guaranteed same day 24-hour delivery service took 48 hours to get there and catch up a few jobs. So I'll leave this lovely view of this beautiful sunny morning, and please like and subscribe, it's very much appreciated, and bye for now.